Allah, don't let me stray. Please guide my way onto the path of my deen. Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, I'm calling your name.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk on your favorite channel, Huda TV. I'm your host, Arkham Rashid. It's no secret that the most successful people in the world follow a simple two-step process. Number one, setting goals. And number two, actually taking action and achieving those goals. Now the first part is the easier part, setting goals for yourself. Even though it's easy, you find so many people that are not able to set goals for themselves, that don't have any goals in life and nothing to look forward to. So on tonight's episode, we will discuss the importance of setting goals and taking action and trying to achieve those goals. So let's start off as usual by letting my guest introduce themselves. Brother, if I can get you to introduce yourself, give us your name, where you're from, and just a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
My name is Abdullah Shahata. I'm from Egypt. I studied Islamic studies in English in Al-Azhar University. I work as a translator.
All right, Abdullah, I want to welcome you back to the show.
My pleasure.
We've had you on previous episodes, and we enjoyed having you on previous episodes, so I want to welcome you back.
My pleasure.
Brother, if I can get your name, where you're from, and just a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yasser Al-Ashqar. I'm from Alexandria, Egypt. It is considered North Africa, northeast of Africa, north of Egypt. I'm doing my fourth year in Bachelor of Commerce right now. Hopefully to finish soon to work as a translator, inshallah, bismillah, inshallah.
Inshallah. All right, I want to welcome you back to the show. It was great having you here before also, and it's great having you here tonight again. Sure. If I can go to this side. Brother, if you can give me your name, where you're from, and just a little bit about yourself.
Yes,
go ahead.
My name is Hassan. I'm from the USA, and from New York City in particular, and I'm currently here in Egypt learning Arabic.
All right, Hassan, I want to welcome you to the show and welcome you back. You've been on previous episode or so. All right, it was good having you, and it's great having you here again.
Pleasure.
All right, brother, if I can get your name, where you're from, and just a little bit about yourself, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam.
My name is Abdullah Ali. I'm from South Africa, the city of Cape Town. I'm currently in third year at Al-Azhar University. I'm studying jurisprudence.
All right, mashallah. I want to welcome you to the show and welcome you back to the show, because you've also been here before on the previous episodes.
It's like all of us.
Yeah, all of you guys here tonight have been here before, alhamdulillah. So you know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to start off by asking you guys, why is setting goals an important part of success?
I would say first is not to be lost. It's just like a simple example of that. If you are in a city and you don't know, like walking on the street, you don't know where are you going. That is like wasting time, wasting effort, wasting your life, and just because you don't know where to go, or actually you cannot get on a plane without knowing your destination. So setting goal is knowing what is your destination and to do what it takes to get you there, because there is something there waiting for you.
That's a very good analogy, I like it. Brother, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd like for people to imagine their lives. I want them to picture that they're holding a huge big iceberg like in their hands, Get the feeling of having a cold thing in their hand. Just picture the ice is melting down. That's how they picture their life at. Like their life is going by, it's passing by, every day is passing by. If they do not set goals right now, they won't be anywhere after 10 years, after 20 years. So you have to set it so you know where you're going,
It gives you a direction in
exactly.
life. Yeah. All right, thanks for that. Brother, can I get your thoughts on it?
Yes, I think the act of goal setting indicates a path, a chosen path. In other words, it's a benchmark that has yet to be set. However, you're in the process of setting this benchmark, which eventually leads to achievement. I'd like to quote a very prominent author that goes by the name of Napoleon Hill. And in this quote he says, "Your acts count for more than your words. Woe unto you if the two fail to harmonize. He says, woe unto if the two, both words and action, if they fail to harmonize, fail to unite.
So you can say goals and taking action.
Exactly, they must be one. If you say something, what must follow is you doing that. So I think quite clearly here we can, goal setting can be summarized as putting your words into action. And if putting your words into action is not important, then quite frankly, I don't know what's important.
All right. It's kind of like what they say on the streets, you got to walk the walk.
Before you talk the talk.
Yeah. Brother, if I can get your thoughts on the importance of goal setting.
To me, goals is important. Why? Because, you know, it gives meaning to our lives. If one knows his goal, if one knows his aim, he'll know where he's heading. It's like having the directions to go to a place that you've never been to before in your life.
Yeah.
So without that directions, you'll be lost. You won't know where to find it. You won't know where the place or how to find it. In life, our goals serve the exact same purpose. It guides us to where we need to be at, and it shows us, you know, where we like it shows us what we're supposed to be doing. It keeps us in line, keeps us intact. So yeah, that's the importance of goal setting.
So what I'm seeing from your guys' answers here is we all agree on one thing, which is somebody who doesn't set goals doesn't have anything to look forward to. You know, he has nothing to achieve in life. Now I want to relate that to Islam. You know, why and how is setting goals related to our religion?
It's so related to our religion. I would say like Islam already set goals forward to us before.
Okay.
Which is like, first of all, the paradise. To seek Allah's blessing, to seek Allah's like rida on us, that Allah is happy and pleased with us. Yeah. This is like one of the
That's one of our goals, yes, already set
for us as being a Muslim. Another thing is, as the ayah in the Quran, which is you should say, my life, my work, my action, my sleeping, my everything is all to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's living my life to what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I think it is very related to our Islam, and Islam teaches us that kind of setting goals already for us. And if we don't have these kind of goals already working on it, it means like we're missing something here as being a good Muslim. And what is the rest for us is to see how I can employ myself under serving these kind of goals that Islam and what Allah pleases, and be happy with me for that.
All right, thanks for your thoughts on that. It was actually really good. What I extracted from that is that, you know, Islam ultimately sets our ultimate goal for us, which is to achieve paradise and the pleasure of Allah.
Something related to the purpose of life, the purpose of why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us in the first place.
All right, Brother Yasser, if I can get your thoughts on how goal setting is related to our religion.
Yes, sure. In the Quran, Allah said, you know, in numerous chapters, in numerous surahs in the Quran, He said, in one surah He'd say, وَالشَّمْس, by the sun. In one surah He'd say, وَالْفَجْرِ. In one surah He'd say, وَالْعَصْرِ. So by the time of Al-Asr, that's how important it is that Allah would swear of the time, swear by the time, because time is Allah. So in one hadith, please correct me, my brother, in one hadith they said, لا تسبوا الدهر, because why? Do not abuse time, do not like insult time and say, you know, with time, you know, that's with time, because time is Allah. Allah is you know, is everything.
The dominant.
You know, He is everything. So you cannot just say a comment about something bad about the time, because it's your fault, not Allah's, not anyone, because you did not plan it right. You didn't get it straight. So it says, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Oh, how men are lost. Men are lost. You know, they're not guided. You know, you can say it in a way that men cannot manage their time. They can't do everything they set out for them to do. You know, Imam al-Ghazali pointed out that that any man is, all men are, everyone is accountable for their deeds. That's why you have to live every day like it's your last. You know, don't wait for the evening to come. Set goals till you know, set it straight that you might die by the evening, by noon. So don't wait for the evening to come.
There's a famous quotation, a famous saying. I don't remember who it's by. If you guys remember, you can let me know. And it's basically plan for each day as if plan for this life as if you're going to live forever, and live each day as if it's your last.
Yes.
So make plans for this life as if you're going to live forever. So have everything planned out in detail, but live each and every single day as if tomorrow you were going to die. This is your last day.
Well, as for English, I don't know who said that, but in Arabic, Imam al-Ghazali, I'm sure that's...
that's another quotation, I think, that, away from you yesterday.
Sure.
That was like one of the companions so the Prophet ﷺ told them that if you're alive in the morning, don't wait for the evening to come. Work and act upon, because you may die before that. If you became like in a good health and you're still alive in the evening, don't wait for the morning to come again. So it's the idea of
taking action and being
taking
proactive.
action. Do not wait, do not postpone everything. And your quotation, I think it's one of the Prophets saying, I'm not sure about the hadith, the same wordings of the Prophet which is, yes, it's if you're going to live, think that you may die any second. But if you want to work and build and construct in life, so do it as you live forever. That's a prophetic hadith.
Yeah, as a proof for my brother said, what my brother said, that before the judgment day, if you had a missile in your hand, it's planted. It's a kind of work. It's a kind of development. It's a kind of. Am I right?
Never too late.
That's right. It's never. Like don't be so desperate. It went by. I didn't do anything. Just take advantage of it. But the way Islam is looking at setting goals straight is actually taking advantage of the moment before you pass away, because that's when you won't have the chance to go back and set new goals. So your goals need to be accurate, need to be combining both your creativity, your achievement within life, because that's what Allah will ask you. What did you do? What did you do with your time? What did you do with your
life?
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask you guys, why are goals so easy to set but hard to achieve?
I think why goals are so easy to set yet so difficult to achieve has to do with how many people, for example, come under the assumption that simply saying such and such is my goal, that they've indeed set a goal. Like I've said before, you can't simply set a goal with your words and not put action to back up those words. So I think action must be the forefront of your of goal setting. Period.
Abdullah, what do you think?
I think that a lot of times we be setting ourselves goals, but none of us, we never understand our goal. We always be, most of the time, we be, okay, I want to do that, and I want to do that, and I want to finish it by that time. So we got the goal, and we got the deadline for doing it. But what we don't have is the schedule that guides us to actually accomplish that goal. So that's the main thing. The main thing is not the goal and the deadline. The main thing is, once you have the schedule, that is what's going to guide you to achieve that goal.
The time management
The
part.
time management part.
And for that, they can watch our time management episode we've done before.
Another reason why it's so difficult is maybe because, a lack of commitment. We always have so much goals, but we can never commit to doing one goal. Maybe, for example, we expect our results to be too good, or we're afraid of the results. So because of that, we'll be, okay, no, it's fine, leave it, I won't be able to accomplish it. It's not for me. You understand what I mean?
You tell yourself that you won't be able to do it just because you don't want to see what's the end result.
Exactly,
the end product.
I also think it has to do with habits as well. If you obtain bad habits from the past, you should try and replace these habits with newer habits. A lot of people recommend that, but by replacing a habit with a new, more productive habit, it'll then erase your old habits. So I think it's a good way of...
So you're saying take an old habit, replace it with a new habit instead of trying to get rid of the habit.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right,
that's a good one, I would just say something about this also, that because some people mix up between what is just general thoughts
Yeah.
in their mind, like when they are sleeping or they walk in the street, just general thoughts without setting a real goal. And as my brother said, like making a time plan for that and start working on that. That's the difference between what a goal to work for and what just general thought that goes away all the
Yeah,
time.
that you might do something or something, you know.
Or wishes.
Yeah, or something you wish for. It's not really a goal, you know.
Just
If I get
wishes.
time, I'll do it. If I don't get time, that's not really a goal.
Yeah.
What do you think, Yasser? You know, why are setting goals easy but difficult to achieve?
Well, setting goals are just, it comes from the mind, you know. I can easily think, you know, I can easily decide that I want to do something, but I can't easily do it actually in reality because it takes movement, it takes work, and, you know, most of the people in this time, in our time, there's laziness, you know, there is lack of responsibility or commitment, or you know, people would, you know, maybe try, even if they were committed into a job or something, they would try to skip it any way they can.
Yeah.
You know, take any, if they have, like, if they can take, if they're supposed to take 10 minutes out of the, you know, just for a break, it'll be extended for maybe 15 or 20 or 30, who knows.
Just enough so the boss doesn't
Exactly.
get mad.
You know.
Exactly.
So, another point is aim high. So even if you missed, you still hit. You know, that's a quote by a lecturer. His name is Les Brown. You know, he had this you know, terrible life. All he wanted to do was, you know, be a broadcaster in a radio show, and he kept going. He did it. You know, so he kept motivating people about setting their goals right, and how to achieve them. You know, how to not be lazy, how to not let anyone drop you. Be like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you can't do it. Who knows? I mean, who knows if you can or you can't? Just go for it.
Yeah. I also think another thing that, you know, comes in the way is people set unrealistic goals for themselves.
That's one
So
thing.
yeah, so what happens is that, you know, I would tell myself, well, by the end of this month, I want to make $30,000 and I want to read 50 books and I want to complete this and this. So the standard is extremely high.
Unless you are Superman.
Yeah, unless, you know. And then when I'm not able to achieve those things, right, then I say, oh, well, there's no use of me setting goals. It's not like I was achieving it when I was setting goals for myself. So I think they need to relook at what goals they're setting for themselves. Is it pragmatic? Is it realistic? Things that they can achieve.
Right.
Basically, Arqam, I think add on to that is one needs to know himself.
Yeah.
Each person, he knows himself. So if I know that I'm a lazy reader, it's impossible for me to make my goal to read a book in one day. If I know I'm a weak memorizer, I can't make my goal to memorize, for example, a whole quarter of Surah Al-Baqarah, for example. We have example from Sahaba. Sahabas used to learn one ayah at a time. So it's not the come, it's not the how much you do. It's, are you going to do it tomorrow? Are you going to stay? Are you going to slack down? You know, it's not like, are you going to give up? If you give up, that's where the problem comes. But so long it goes on, and then it will be fine.
Which leads me to my next question I wanted to ask, you know, what are some good ways in which we can take action?
Yes, I think getting in a habit of refraining from procrastination is an excellent way of, you know, taking action. You know, when we set a goal, we shouldn't hesitate. We should go ahead and do that goal.
Don't put it off till late. Don't procrastinate.
Exactly. When we hesitate, there can be influences or thoughts that can change your mind. And I think also we should change our mindset. Changing the mindset, for example, we should eliminate the quote-unquote thought, which most people would say is this may not work mentality. This may not work mentality is never the right way to go about.
So that's a type of mentality. This may not work.
Yeah, this may not work. Exactly.
Okay.
It's exactly, it's a mentality. And there's another quote in which to share. It's a wonderful yet very blunt quote in my opinion, and it goes as such: there is no failure. That which looks to be failure is usually but temporary defeat. Make sure you do not accept it as permanent. So I think all goal setters should bear this in mind. There is no wall unbreakable. No sea you can't sail, no mountain you can't climb. So whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it.
Yeah. See, Brother Hassan here has a lot of quotes. Anytime I need a quote, I'm going to message him. Can you give me a quote for this? He knows a lot of quotes memorized. MashaAllah, that's a very good thing. Brother, what's your thoughts on that?
I think that we should start by, whenever we have a goal, we should make a note of it. We should write it down. There's a few scholars that mention that they say that any goal, that if it's not written down, it cannot be classified as a goal. It's only but a desire. I want to do that. It's an idea. Yeah. I thought
similar to what Brother Abdullah was saying earlier. Yeah.
Secondly, we should gather as much information we can about this goal. So maybe by putting ourselves out with friends that achieve their goals, identifying people that will help us in that particular thing that we want to achieve. That's steps that we can do.
Changing your surrounding. That's a very good one.
Yeah. Say, for example, what else we can do? We should identify what benefits we want from each goal. If we identify what we want from the goal, it's going to make achieving it much easier than, just saying, I want to become a lawyer, but we don't know what a lawyer does. Whereas if we know, okay, a lawyer does that, he does that, it's like steps. You prepare yourself already for the end result, the main goal. Yeah.
And also remind ourselves of the profits or the benefits, the prizes that will come after that goal. That kind of encourages me afterwards.
And each goal we set for ourselves, we should do with a correct intention, so we get rewarded for that goal.
Definitely, if I keep reminding myself of the correct intention, as you said, that the reward I'll be having at the end, it will encourage me and it will make me determined to achieve that kind of goal. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
No.
So go ahead, let me get your thoughts on it.
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, after my two brothers just commented, I would say one thing, which is setting penalties. Yes, if I do like a schedule or write it down, set my goals, I know what I have to do, but I keep just postponing or being lazy, I would say if I did not do that kind of plan in this week, there would be kind of penalty for me.
Yeah.
I would say this kind of penalty to give £50 charity, for example.
Okay.
That's one thing. I would say if I will go out with my friends in a movie for whatever, I won't go for that.
You ground yourself.
Yeah, I'll ground myself, and that's may help.
Okay.
I think.
So setting a penalty for yourself.
Penalty line.
If I'm not able to achieve it's kind of like a punishment. If I'm not able to achieve what I set for myself, then I'm going to punish myself in some sort of way.
If we commit our penalties that we do, it will work out. But most probably, we don't.
Right. That was just.
You're like, khalas, I'll do this penalty next week.
Yeah, next week.
All right, Brother Yasser, can I get some of your thoughts on some good ways?
Well, I'd like to comment on my brother Abdullah said.
Sure.
It should be beneficial for other Muslim brother, for our ummah. It shouldn't be if it's harmful for anyone else. If our goal might harm any other Muslim, then it's haram for me to do it. I'm obligated to do what is good for me and others. So I'd get rewarded for it. That's for a start. As for the mindset, you need to get the thoughts that are I recall this one a professional in human resources, setting the mind straight and all that. That's what gets people really concentrating onto what they will do on short period of goals.
Short-term period.
Yeah.
Short-term.
So what he did is he said get all the junk thoughts out of your head and write them down on a piece of paper, so you'd clear your mind for the good ones, because your mind is for the creativity, not for being busy with small minor stuff. Like if you need, for instance, if you need to, I just met Brother Abdullah and I need to memorize his number and I don't have his phone, I have to get his number on a piece of paper. I don't need to overload my memory, with a phone number or with something else that does not actually, it's not a priority.
So you're saying
because
Brother Abdullah's
not
number
Brother
is
Abdullah, you
Yeah,
have to
we'll
say
speak about that after that.
Right. Sure. So that's what I meant, So setting the mindset, so nothing would, so there would be no obstacle standing between you and achieving your goal.
Yeah. That's very good. I just wanted to quickly comment on Brother Hassan's comment about the procrastination, not pushing things for some time else. What did you say was the I'll do this later mentality or something?
Oh, this may not work out.
Yeah, this may not work out mentality. And this is the category we commonly fall into. We'll set a goal for ourselves and we'll say we'll do it tomorrow or we'll do it next morning. And what we need to do to drop that is literally just drop that thought and do it.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
I read something that said that in order to take action on your goals, what you need to do is you need to print a picture in your mind and you need to be so optimistic and tell yourself almost like you have already achieved this goal.
Yeah.
Just picture that you already have achieved it. It's from time to time. It makes it easier. It takes that burden away of, oh man, I got to do that. Oh man, I still got to do that. Oh man, I got to do that. Time to time, just picture yourself being, a professor. Like I'm picturing myself now to be a professor. It feels awesome. Something like that. Yeah. That's what you should do. It helps.
And do it in front of a mirror.
Stand in front of the mirror and act like a professor. Okay, so now I want to get into the importance of goal setting and its relation to success. But after we come back from a short break. So stay tuned for the short break and then we'll get back to our conversation.
How perfect my life is and I praise. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are.
Allah is my heartbeat. Your mercy is what I beseech.
Omar Dunlap.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Now people who have their own personal vendetta would come and say, Wahhabi Sheikh, Super Salafi or Salafi or whatever. Why? They try to label us so that they would think that they would gain more and more followers where they can eat from them when they give them the money. Ask Islam, should we perform wudu after eating mutton meat, after eating sheep meat? And the Prophet said, if you wish, it's not a must. And then he asked him again, he said, okay, do we have to perform wudu after eating camel's meat? And the Prophet said, yes.
You're not giving it to him because he has black eyes or blue eyes. You're giving it to him because of his position. And that is why you're giving it to this particular department's head rather than giving it to the HR GM, for example. Nobody gives the HR GM anything because they don't want anything from him until they want a job. Therefore, this is the way you can judge whether it's a bribe or not.
We go out of our way to follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, to teach it to the people, to implement it in our lives, in our families, in our neighbors. We love the Prophet ﷺ, but when it comes to what he has himself said, that his father and his mother are in hell, what do you want me to do?
Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Huda TV's social media sites are the best way to contact us from anywhere around the world. Stay connected with Huda TV's latest news and programs through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Skype, and Instagram. It's fast and easy. Stay up to date with your favorite shows and scholars today. Huda TV, a light in every home.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. Now, before the break, we were having a conversation about the importance of goal setting and taking action. Now, the next question I want to ask my guests is very important. It's what if somebody actually tried their best to achieve and take action on the goals and plans that they had set for themselves, but were not able to. So I want to start off with my right brother Abdullah. If you can tell me, what should one do if he's in that situation or scenario where he tried his best to achieve his goal but wasn't able to?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I would say first it depends about the person and what is the goal for himself, for him. I would say some people would abandon their dream or the goal if they're looking after something and they kept trying doing it, but they just despaired from achieving it at a certain point of time. I would say if it is important for him or for me to achieve that kind of goal, I'll keep trying over and over again. I will learn from my previous trials to see where my weakness point and my strength point, to start to analyze my process before and start work on my weakness point and increase my strength point to get to what I'm looking after, I'm looking for. That's one thing. The second thing is I would definitely consider if this goal is right to me or not.
Okay,
or I need to change my track to another thing similar or not. Because if some people keep trying doing the same thing over and over again, and it turns out it's not suitable for them.
Yeah, not everybody's meant to do the same thing or achieve the same things. The world doesn't work that way. Everybody can't be a doctor. Everybody can't be an engineer. The world's not going to work.
Definitely. And Allah gave us certain potentials that would work out in a certain field. That doesn't mean I will work only in that kind of field. So I would say, if it is important for me, learn from my previous experience, keep trying, and consider if it is the right goal for me or not.
All right. Brother Yasser, what would you do in that situation?
Well, I don't want to repeat what my brother Abdullah said, but I'll get it in another point of view. Well, first of all, I'd say, قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. God has destined what He willed, and nothing in this earth can take the opposite direction of what God has already written 50 years before anyone's birth. So first of all, you have to say قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. God has willed whatever He chose, He willed. إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا راجعون. Alhamdulillah for everything. Just don't be mad, don't be depressed, don't let it get to you. Try to go for namaz, take 2 rak'ats, and say istighfar. You say واستغفروه إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. Take istighfar, most of the time, because Allah will send His skies upon you. It will rain, with rainfall. It's good for veg, for everything that your food you need to. It's good for you. God will send will bless you with money, with children, with everything. So try, look at it from a religious perspective. What are you doing wrong? Why God has not made it right for you? You see, that's how I look at it. That's what happened to me. I have to say, back when I was in India, I failed 2 years. I was studying what I loved the most, which is a Bachelor of English. Taking some courses in translation, and at the same time I was working outside. In the same field that I loved, but something went wrong within the school, and suddenly I dropped. I dropped school. I dropped university in India, and I moved to Egypt to study commerce, which is a different thing, and I don't like. I'm not very much into it. But right now in the 4th year, I got in contacts with a lot of religious brothers, and it made a lot of contacts. It made I said within myself, really, alhamdulillah, that this is what God has chosen for me. It is better for what I've chosen for myself, because now I have both commerce and translation. So both ways. That's it.
All right. I want to ask the same question to you guys, but before you do that, I want to show you guys a small video, and I want to ask you guys your thoughts on that small video. So if we can get the video.
How perfect my life is, and I praise. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah.
hope you guys enjoyed that short video clip. It was very interesting. It didn't have any audio, but the video itself was just full of words. If I can start with my brother here, if you can share your thoughts on that video. What did you extract from that video? Go ahead.
I would say it's powerful stuff, you know. It's embarrassing for us. Like this kind of, Allah gave the eagle that kind of potentials to get whatever, to do whatever it takes to get his food. It's speechless. I would say.
Yeah, the video was speechless.
Speechless. And me, I'm speechless. So no comment.
Okay, Brother Yasser, if you could share your comments on it.
Well, everything in the universe goes by the will of Allah. You know, even a bird who can't speak, who can't make any noise, even a fish, you know, who can't make any, you know, everything that goes in the path that God has destined. And yet, you know, bottom line, you don't need to worry about anything. You know, just do it. You know, think about what's good for you and for your afterlife. You know, at least Imam al-Ghazali, he said, you know, I don't want people to be like, pardon my language, I don't want people to be like animals. Just don't look for the green and just go for it. You know, set stuff. I know this is the difference between human and animals. You see, animals, they don't think. God has created them in such a manner that they would just do it. They don't. At least we humans are accountable for our deeds because we have the opportunity to think and to decide whether if this goal is good or bad.
We've got a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Brother Hassan, if I can ask your thoughts from the video.
My thoughts on the video are short and concise, and it begins with what if. What if us as human beings evolved from being a creature of nature to perhaps a creature of instinct, you know, to a point where our thoughts are thoughts of action rather than thoughts of mere thoughts.
That's
such
a horrifying one.
No, actually,
it's something to ponder upon.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I like that, how you said it.
Yeah, it's something to tickle the brains a bit. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there.
So you wanted to tickle everybody's brains?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brother Abdullah.
I think that what we can learn from this eagle is that, you know, the first time when he actually went into the water, he went in and he came out easily. He just went in, got the fish, and he came out.
Yeah, good one.
But the second and the third time, he actually had to go deeper in, and he actually had to get a bigger fish. And when he got that bigger fish, and he was in the air, the fish was about to fall, and then they had to keep the fish with one leg.
Yeah.
So that's the trials and the tribulations that we will have to face in any test, in anything, in any goal that we set ourselves out to be. But he didn't give up. He could have let the fish go.
Don't let it go.
Don't let it go. Keep it going.
Yeah.
If a bird, subhanallah, if a bird could do something like that, then what's it about us human beings that are aqil?
Well, that's a very good point. That's similar to what I extracted from the video also.
So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on the video? Basically, I think, you know, there were steps. You saw the bird going in once and the second time. So both times it had one goal, and which was to get its food, right? And each time it achieved its goal. But both times the process was different. At one point the water was deeper, it was harder. But he still, you know, through those troubles, he still achieved his goal. He still kept his focus on his goal and still went in the water and achieved his goal.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what the situation was. So that's what I kind of extracted from the video. Now, before I played you guys the video and before you shared your thoughts on the video, we were speaking about what if somebody actually set his goals, just like the bird, and tried to achieve it but was not able to achieve it. You know, what should he do in that situation? Go ahead, Brother Hassan.
Well, it's normal for any individual to have cold feet. You know, once you get a point in in attempting to achieve your goals. But I'd like to make the point also that there are certain scenarios where you can be just beyond achieving that goal and you give up. There was this one story, to summarize it really quickly, there was this individual who had a mining field, and he stumbled upon gold. And once he stumbled upon gold, he began selling this gold and making a good profit, and he hired many individuals. But there came one day when the gold ran dry. There was no more gold. They dug and dug and dug, and they couldn't find any gold whatsoever. So he gave up, and he actually sold the property for a really, really cheap price to an individual who would be considered uneducated, who doesn't really know what they're doing. Once this individual bought the property, immediately what he did was consult an expert, an engineer that's he knows his things well in terms of mining. He
specializes.
Yeah, he specializes in mine engineering. So basically, once the guy arrived, he assessed the property and determined that 3 feet from this point, gold would be found. And they dug 3 feet, and gold was found. And so once the previous owner got word of this, from there on, whenever he'd want to give up, he'd say, I was 3 feet away from gold. And he's now gone on to be a successful salesman, and one of the most successful salesmen now.
Good for him.
In some instances, you should not give up.
All right, that's an interesting point. Abdullah?
What I think is that, when we what was the question?
If you try to achieve a goal, and you actually tried to achieve it, not giving up, you did your best, you gave your effort in, but you weren't able to achieve that goal, what should you do in that situation?
Oh yeah, I think that everybody, doesn't matter who he is, the biggest achievers out there, you cannot tell me that he never faced trials. You cannot tell me that he never faced obstacles. If you look at the best person that came to earth, if you look at the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, what happened to him when he was in Makkah? What did Quraysh do to him? They were ill-treating him and making fun of him. What happened to him when he went to Taif? They were throwing him with stones and they were swaying him out and things like that. He never gave up. He could have asked, when Jibreel came to him and Jibreel asked him, should I crash these 2 mountains on them? He said no. He rather then asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make of them people that will, believe in Islam. So we should learn from the Prophet that never give up, rather than have patience. If we see that we are going off track or we cannot achieve this goal, break it up smaller. Have patience, and if we do that way, then inshallah you will achieve your goal. And if not, then it's Allah's will. Try and take a different approach to it.
See, that's my view on it too. If somebody tried their best to achieve something and wasn't able to achieve it, he needs to reanalyze or reassess the situation. Reassess his goals. Are they really achievable for him? Can he actually achieve those goals he set for himself, or are they too high? Are they some goals that he thought he could achieve, but in reality he can't? So he needs to relook at his goals and see if they're pragmatic for him or not, and then reset his goals. That's what I think somebody should do in that situation.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, what about getting into the habit of goal setting? Why is that an essential and important element of success?
I'd like to relate this one incident that happened almost 1,000, maybe 100 years ago, 1,200 or something. It goes for Imam al-Bukhari. Imam al-Bukhari, he had this idea, not him actually, one of his friends maybe, who commented saying something like, I wish we had one book that collected every authentic hadith in Sunnah, in one book, so we'd get, save us the trouble of searching whether it's authentic or not,
To combine them in one.
Yeah, so Imam al-Bukhari, he went on, he just had this idea right away, and he started, traveling from a place to place, and he, had this simple little thing that he would benefit the whole ummah, not just one man. Every Muslim nowadays is opening, al-Bukhari to know, because he won't even save the trouble to. That is one example. It was a small little goal, small wish by someone else. I adopted it and implemented it. I didn't steal it. You see, there's a difference. Some people would claim that I had this idea and someone else took it from me. Well, why didn't you do it? Go for it, then achieve it. Make it possible. Make it reality. That's what Imam Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, he found himself in the middle of, he was the last descendant of the Ottoman Empire, and he found himself right in the middle of Ismaili Shiite in Egypt. So within time...
Salahuddin wasn't part of the Ottoman Empire?
Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, yes.
No. He wasn't with the Ottoman? No, he had his own
he had, yes, I understand. No, I'm sorry. Fix it. I misrelated it, yeah. Well, he was, he was in the...
Towards the end of the Abbasid.
Right, right. It was before it. So he found himself in the middle of Ismaili Shia. So in Egypt, yes, Ismailis, they were in control of Egypt at the time. So within step by step, he, all he wanted to do was, free Palestine from the last conquest. So that's what he did. He set the goal straight and he did it. So setting goals are easy. Just achieving it are hard to commit to.
I think if I could add to what he said there.
Sure, go ahead.
Setting goals is so important because it inspires every one of us to do things that none of us thought were possible. You can say Imam Bukhari never thought that he would be able to compile all those amount of hadith. Said Salahuddin al-Ayyubi never thought that he'll be able to conquer Palestine. You know what I mean? So it inspires us, it challenges yourself. And when challenging yourself, you accomplish it, you accomplish the first step and the second step, you believe in yourself more. You understand what I mean? So,
and the greater the challenge, the greater will be the rewards.
Exactly, yeah. And also because success, without success, success, it's like without a goal, without the aim, without that plan, nobody can ever have success without that. You understand what I mean? If there's no success and if there's no goal, there's no success. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, I got it. So, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Okay.
So I want to thank you guys for joining me for this conversation here at Let's Talk. I really enjoyed today's conversation. And I want to thank you, dear viewers, for tuning in again for another episode of Let's Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed and benefited from tonight's episode. Also, check out our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/letstalkofficial. You can share your comments and thoughts with us on our Facebook page. You can also suggest future topics that we can speak about on our Let's Talk programs. And until next time, may God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How perfect my Allah is, and I praise Him. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah. How perfect you are, Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah. I need you, Allahu Akbar, Allah, your mercy is great.